Hi guys, it's Dr. Cody Dukes and we are back again for another video. Now you guys already know what the deal is, so please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to this channel. I'm uploading 5 videos a week, that's one every weekday. I do motivational, inspirational content with a pop culture twist. I look at things like movies, comic book characters and superheroes, anime, TV shows, sports, you name it. I try to find the motivational and inspirational aspect of it, and I try to deliver it in a way that is palatable for you guys. So if that sounds like something that you would like, this is the channel for you. So today I want to talk about probably one of the biggest film franchises in the world, in the history of cinema really. I want to talk about Star Wars, and specifically I want to talk about Episode 8. You know, I enjoy the Star Wars franchise. I've seen all of the movies. Some of them I enjoy more than others. But Episode 8 is a unique movie in that Episode 8 was not directed by the same person who directed Episode 7. If my memory serves me correctly, I want to say Episode 7 and Episode 9 were directed by the same person, but Episode 8 was directed by a different person. And what happens is in Episode 7, there's a few things that get set up as like somewhat being a big deal. Like the main character, Rey, they kind of set up that maybe her parents or her lineage is something special, right? And then also with the main villain, or at least one of the main villains, Snoke, they kind of set it up that he's some shadowy figure that's been lurking in the background. Is who he is going to be a big deal. And then what happens is in Episode 8, in that movie, I hope you've seen it because I'm about to spoil it, they reveal that not only is Rey's parentage insignificant, that her parents were nobodies, they also kill off Snoke. Just kill him. They don't, with no real more or in-depth information about who he was or who he is before the movie, without revealing anything else about him. They just kill him. Now, I will say that in Episode 9, they retcon it a bit, and I think that's because the director who directed this Episode 7, where they set up all of these things, was directing Episode 9, and therefore he retconned them, not necessarily changed them, but he made them back important things. It stands to reason that a lot of people, if you didn't know, they ended up disliking Episode 8. And the reason they disliked it was because that it seemed to veer so far off of the story, and specifically the things that were important in Episode 7. It seemed to change the narrative a bit. And I think the reason that this is so significant is because this is what happens when you have not even necessarily two opposing, but when you just have two competing visions of how something is supposed to go. You often end up with something that's bound to fail or be less effective, right? So if you're not clear on the vision, that's probably even more important. It's one, you have to be extremely clear on the vision. And two, you have to make sure that vision's aligned. The reason you have to be clear on the vision is because it's going to be really hard to know where you're going if you don't have an idea of what it looks like to begin with. Right? Like I can think of at least 2 people I know. At least 2 people I know, including one of them that graduated me. 2 people I know that graduated pharmacy school and turned around and went to med school. And let me say this, I have probably some of the utmost respect for both of these gentlemen, because I know how hard it is to get through one of them. And so to be able to get through both of them, I think is an incredible feat, and it speaks to the measure of man that both of them are. But I can honestly say, and I think maybe even they would agree, that there's still 4 years that they lost, that they wouldn't have lost had they been extremely clear about where they were going to go in life. If they'd have known at the beginning that MD was the final goal, they probably never waste 4 years getting PharmD, right? Like if they had just been a little bit more clear about the vision from the beginning, they probably would have already been medical doctors. And in fact, one of them, a good friend of mine, who's in medical school now, and we talk all the time, but I remember him talking about it at the beginning. I want to say what he said was that, he graduated undergrad and he wasn't really sure about what it was he wanted to do. And he was just like, and I want to say the suggestion may have came from his parents. Like, well, why not pharmacy school? Why not? And it wasn't until about a year in or a year and a half in that he realized, no, I want to be a medical doctor. But had he have been clear about the vision on the front end, he might have saved some time in the middle to shorten up the back end, right? So you have to be clear on the vision. But then also you have to be clear about the visions of those who you align yourself with and making sure that their vision and your vision also align. It's not enough just to be together, but where you see the fellowship going has to be together, right? The Bible kind of says it like this: how can two walk together unless they agree, right? And that probably would have solved some of Star Wars episode 7, 8, and 9's issues had the vision of the two directors been in alignment. Had they been in agreement, the flow from 7, 8, 9 would have been so much more effective, right? I think about Jay Cutler, who got a divorce here somewhat recently. And, it didn't have, he's a football player, by the way, or at least he was. He's a retired football player. And that's the thing. You would think if his wife was going to divorce him, she would do it while he was playing, right? Maybe he's an athlete. He has women chasing him. Maybe he slips up and has an indiscretion, right? Or maybe he's always away from home. He doesn't have time for her. He doesn't have time for the kids, and she feels neglected and she wants to divorce. Like, you would think that if she's going to have an issue with him, it would be during his playing career. But they got a divorce after he retired. And when the news comes out of her explaining why, the reason that they got a divorce, or the reason that she wanted to divorce him, was because her vision of what their life together looked like was different than what his vision was. His vision for his life after football was that, when I put all of this time in, I've made all of this money, I want to now enjoy my children, my sons. I want to be here while they grow up. I want to be all in as a parent. I want to be there every step of the way. I want to show up to all the games. I want to be at the PTA meetings. I want to be a super hands-on dad. I've made enough money to afford myself this opportunity. I want to be here with my wife. I want to be a super hands-on husband. I've afforded myself this opportunity. That was his vision of how their life together was going to go. But her vision of how their life together was going to go was much like his football career. He would still be super motivated, still out there getting and making business deals, always, well, not saying always, but maybe not home that much. Her vision was that he was going to still be out there going after it. They had competing visions about how their life together was going to play out. And what's funny about it is, as long as he was in the NFL, the fact that they had competing visions was never an issue, because it never was able to surface that what he wanted and what she wanted were two different things. But the moment that he's now out of the league and it comes to surface, wow, how I saw this thing going and how he saw it going, it's way different. She immediately knows this isn't going to work. It's not going to be an effective joining. And so now she wanted a divorce. Why? Because their visions didn't align on the front end. So guys, if you take anything from this message, it's one, get clear on your vision. And two, make sure when you're aligning with people, it's people whose visions about where you're going is the same as yours. Make sure that the people you're going to walk with are in agreement with you. So this is my challenge today. I want you to take a moment and just sit down and to visualize exactly where it is you want to go, exactly who it is you want to be, exactly who it is you want to be there with, how many children you want to have, what type of place you want to live in, the type of animal, if you want a pet, how much time you want to spend with your family, how much time you want to spend working, how much time you want to spend traveling. Really take a moment and get a clear vision of where and how you want this thing to go. And if you've done that, I want you to put a 1 in the comments to let me know that you've at least got a clear vision. And then 2, what I want you to do is to really begin to assess those around you and to begin to assess, does that person agree with me? Does this person agree with me? Are they going in the same direction as me? Is their vision for their life in alignment with mine? Because if not, it's going to be really hard for me to go with them. It's not going to be hard for them to go, and it's not going to be hard for me to go. It's just going to be hard for us to go together. And if they do, maybe I need to be working on making sure I'm really aligning myself with them. If I can see that their vision and my vision are aligned, I need to make sure that I'm aligning myself with them, because it's going to be a more effective team. Shout out to Oblivion and Tom Cruise. That's my video, guys. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like this video, guys. It costs nothing but a little bit of energy to move your hand to click the like button, guys. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you know someone who would benefit from my message, please share my content with them. Please send them to my page. Guys, I'm uploading 5 videos a week. That's 1 every weekday. I do motivational and inspirational content with a pop culture twist. I look at things like movies, superheroes, sports, television, anime, and I try to find the motivational, inspirational aspect in it, and I try to make it very palatable and deliver it to you guys in a way that's very understandable. So guys, please keep coming back. I appreciate you so much for listening. If you stayed this long, thanks so much. And until next time, peace.